Hello, hello, hello. So, someone had asked for, I guess, they really were trying to get like a basic starting point on their load order. Like, how can I just get started, right? So, now, this load order I have here, I think it's a good basic load order, but it's really got a lot of mods, and I'm used to modding now like I wasn't when I first started, okay? So I'm trying to get my mindset to go back to when I first started. Let's just pretend for a moment this was the first time I was going to mod Skyrim, okay? And I want to just make some changes. Now, it depends on what your focus is. If your focus is, I want to be able to make my game harder, okay? If I was going to say that, at this point in time, a simple mod change is this. Bring in Dangerous Skyrim. Try that out. That will give you some harder enemies to fight. You will do less damage, they will do more damage, and they have a chance, more of a chance, of killing you with a finisher. Dragons will eat you. It's pretty funny. If you've watched any of my videos lately, you know it's pretty funny. And so that's a good way to get started. And I'm just saying, just this one mod, even by itself, that will help make your game a little more difficult. There are other mods that will do that too. I have done shows or tried them myself. There is, let me see, I'm going to put up Encounter. So I'm trying to give you some starter points, okay? Now this is to make your game, like I said, a little harder. Alright, so it depends on what we're looking for. If you're not looking to make your game harder, then it's different. But let's go to, there's Rebalanced Encounter Zones. If I can find that, pardon me for just a moment. It is an older mod, but it does add a good bit of difficulty to the game. And if you're playing on Legendary and you're like, you know, this still isn't quite as hard as I want, it would be a good way to go. I'm trying to look for that, sorry. It's going to take me just a moment. Now there's Arena, that's an encounter zone overhaul. It is similar. I've not really had a chance to test this out, okay? So, and I'm not sure that that's the type of mod that we want. The Rebalanced Encounter Zones, let me see if I can find it. It has its own special little picture. It is its own little thing, and it's good. Wow, there are a lot of mods out here for Encounter. I did not realize I was going to find so many. So we're just gonna just bear with me for a moment. Let's see, there's Encounter Zones redone. I'm not sure that's the same. It sounds similar. But let's continue on and look for the one that I know I've tried in the past. And it's an older mod. There's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes older is better. Because sometimes it's simpler. And we'll come back through and look at some of these. And some of these that I know anything about, I will try to give you a little heads up on them. My goodness. This is really going back, ain't I? Rebalanced, come on, where are you? I know you're here. There's the Genesis mod. Hopefully I didn't fly right by it. Sometimes I can do that. There's so many mods to look at. That doesn't look like it. There are so many different things here. I do apologize for this taking so long. Here we go. Rebalanced Encounter Zones. Okay, now there's a light version. Okay, which was updated in 2019. Okay, and then this is leveled actors. I've forgotten the difference and why I would care about leveled actors. I just don't remember. Anyway, there's not that much difference between the two. The size of the one's light and the other one's not, but I don't see the size is such a tiny difference. I'm not sure why one is light. Alright, anyway, so this is an option. This would it just cranks up the difficulty of your enemies and the zones, because you can level up so quickly in Skyrim. If you're doing a lot of crafting and you're leveling off your crafting and everything else, you'll level pretty fast and get pretty strong pretty quickly. So this is to add some difficulty to your game. I'm going to just roll through because there were some other ones worth mentioning here. Boss encounters. Have I played with this before? Come on. Not sure. I'm not familiar with that one. But there's definitely some different encounter mods you can do like that. If there's certain creatures you don't like you don't like choruses, the bugs, you can get rid of them. It is an option. Just telling you. Let's see. What else we got? There were some good ones I thought here. Some of these have nothing to do with encounters, so I don't know why they're showing up. But that has to do with how people do things. Now, Mighty Dragons mods. There's a lot of Mighty Dragon mods, and they're all pretty good. Okay, they're all pretty good and pretty fun. And these make your dragons really tough, really hard, and it's very fun. The Sands of Time team, they have a number of different mods that are good out here. Now, this is really a huge Overhaul mod. I have not tried this mod in particular, but notice it is 800. It's over 880 megabytes. This is a huge Overhaul. A lot of new bosses, a lot of things. Okay, I'm not gonna get into all of that because I don't even know all of it. But that's definitely. That would definitely be a choice. It's a big choice, but it's a choice. There are some mods like Maids of Deception where you can have a whole nother bunch of questing and build on a bunch of areas. There's the Winches mods, which adds another level of difficulty and encounters in that. They add a bunch of basically female enemies that are souped up and pretty powerful. The Genesis mods are good for, what they do is they pop in some more enemies for you, and they repopulate your dungeons quicker. So they're good in their own way for what they do and what they are. Now, they do not really increase difficulty, okay? They do pop in some more spawns, and they do give you a little better loot, but you'll notice, what it says here, and they're small mods, okay? So they do give you some more enemies and different things, and it kind of livens things up for you if you're not used to that. So it just depends. You'll see a number of different mods here that I've either not had a chance to use or try out. I've honestly, the one time I've looked at this, or maybe the several times I've looked at this, this is again a good sounding mod, but it was very hard to get this to work. And anyway, I just think this mod is probably pretty tough. Okay, to get it to work. I'm sure to play through it'd be great, but I think getting it to work, I think it's a difficult proposition, and you probably want to have a lot fewer mods if you're going to try to use that mod, because it was very finicky, very particular. That doesn't mean it was bad. It's a big mod. It has a lot of stuff in it. So for encounters, you get the idea. There's a lot of different difficulty and encounter mods out here that do a lot of different things. This is the Genesis. The other one was Genesis for the dungeons. This is Genesis for the surface spawns. They will even spawn and attack you in town, which is kind of funny. It's a small mod, and it's pretty fun. Especially if you have something that makes those bandits and makes those guys stronger and tougher, then it's more fun. So, which I've been using the Dangerous Skyrim, which is, that livens it up a little bit. Now, there's a lot of other encounter mods. So if you're looking for encounter mods, like I say, there is a ton out here. The Sands of Time team has several really big, tough mods, okay? I would advise you not use them with a lot of other mods, okay? Just like the organized bandits in Skyrim. Now, this is a good mod, which you wouldn't necessarily think of as an encounter mod. However, it makes all the Atronachs in the game stronger. So, even if they're not your Atronach, they're still stronger. So they can kick your butt. It's pretty fun. I like this mod. It's a very good mod. Let's see. What else do we have encounter-wise that I should make sure I mention? That's probably, I mean, there's a number of different things. We had some good mods out here that are gone right now. Supposedly the author is working on them, so we're waiting to see, waiting for those to show up. Let's see, this is what? Complete Enemy Overhaul. This is a pretty big overhaul. I haven't tried this yet, but this sounds interesting. A Skyrim revamped. This might be fun. I haven't tried it, so it's something on my list to try. Let's see, anything else? There's the Arena Encounter Zone. I thought, that might be worth trying too. But it has some levels here. I'm not sure. We'll try and see. There's all kinds of things like that to make your game more difficult and tougher. There's a lot of different things here. Now, if you're looking for armor and weapons, that's easy to find. You just come down to those categories. Armor, it's right here near the top. You can find all kinds of armor, everything from skimpy armor to real armor, and lots of good armor replacers and things that you can use. It's a lot of good fun stuff. Again, if you're going to start out, just pick something and start with just a few mods. Don't start with like 100 mods that you just throw in all at once and you have no idea what you're doing, okay? I'm not trying to be mean. Just trust me. If you will start with just a couple mods, say like, hey, you know what? I would really like to play in these armors. I would really like to try these armors out. Well, download this mod, make a character, and go try it out. And just give it a whirl. And then when you're like, I want to add something else, or I want to do something else, then add something else in. If you're all into like the aesthetics of Skyrim, you want to do weather, and you want to do trees and grass, then do that. But just start off small. Just do a little bit. Don't do everything all at once. Say like you choose a weather mod, and you say, I'm going to use this weather mod, and just do that one thing. And then say, okay, I like that weather mod. Let's go now and let's try some grass mods and do that. I will show you some easy ones that are lightweight and easy to start with. These tree mods are simple and easy. This grass, you'll need this landscape grass fix. You do need that with your grass mod. Almost all grass mods will need it. It's very rare that one doesn't. This is a weather mod. You'll probably want the smooth sky mod. It's hard to tell you exactly how to get started except just to point you towards a few things that you can try. Try doing some sort of trees and grass, or trees and flora and grass, and try doing a weather mod. Start simple, or the simplest start really is to start with armor and weapons, okay? And that is the most fun. If you're not doing a difficulty mod, then do the armor and weapons. There's a lot of good. Let me see. If I looked up Nord War here, there's going to be a lot of good stuff under Nord War that you can see and enjoy and play around with. These are some good looking. Now there's a lot of different mods, okay? But these are pretty much all very good looking armors and that are fun to play around with. You can start with something small if you want. Let's see, let's find something I like. I'll just show you. But there are bigger mods, as you can see. There's a lot of these, and some of them are really big. But you could start with like this. This is Raxonate has ported this from Nord War, and it's very good. It's like Game of Thrones armor. It's very nice. Looks very good. And you'll notice it looks good on the guys and the girls. It doesn't matter. I think it looks good on both. Same with this chainmail. I think it's very nice. It looks good on both. This pirate armor, which I have done this. I have used this, and it's fun and silly, and it's good pirate armor though. It looks good. There's a number of different little mods that you can try. You can try this Paladin Armor Set. I hit the wrong one, didn't I? I did. Hold on, let me try this again. This is very nice. I've used this before, and it can be a lot of fun. And you can leave the helmet off if you don't want the helmet. Like I did like that. So, it's very nice. So you can try a number of different things like that just to experiment, just to get your feet wet. Just like, oh, I want to try some armor and weapons, and then I'll go from there. Maybe you want to have a home that is not one of the homes that are in the game. You want to try a different home. You could do that. Just try not to get too much too fast. Start off with 1 or 2 mods and grow from there. Armor and weapons are the easiest to start with. You can do some minor adjustments to the game, such as always having dragons, delaying the Dragonborn and the Dawn Guard. I will post a general load order guide, and of course you can go by my load order here. If you want to be able to craft everything in the game, there's this series, Craftable Everything. There's like 3 mods that make it up. It's, you can think of it as one mod, but it's actually 3 separate files. Craftable Everything, and it's really good. It allows you to craft, I think, almost everything in the game. So it's really good. Let's see, is there anything else that's really super cool? It depends on what you want to do. I like, some of these I like, but that doesn't mean they're for everybody. You should definitely always have cheat room. If you're into the girls, the skimpy girls, there is, of course, the Nephilim shape armor replacers and the Amazing World of Bikini armor. If you want to make your people in Skyrim look better, you can do something like I've done here. This really helps the guys look better, and this really makes the girls look great. And then the Immersive Winches. This is like I was talking about earlier. The Winches mods, they add a level of difficulty, and they add to your encounters. They also add some people in town and give you more followers that you can play around with. And this will make them look better. Let's see. This just gives you some merchants with a lot of money that you can sell to. Let's see. Is there anything? Now we're getting into character mods. Once you get down to my hairstyles. Okay, let's move this one. Okay. Now we're getting into my character mods. Okay. And I mix and match a little bit because I make guys and girls. Depends on what I need for my shows, or if I'm just playing, depends on what I want to play. So I make guys and girls, and these are different things. Let's see. Hairstyles. This is a very simple hairstyles. It's got one really male hairstyle, and then it's got some girl hairstyles that are nice. You'll either like them or you won't. For anyone left in my game that might have vanilla hair, this makes their vanilla hair look a little better. Okay. This is a character editor mod. It opens up more stuff for your character in the character editor. However, be careful with that, because when you mix it with other things, you can have unintended results sometimes. This is R246's presets. They're very good. Probably the best female presets in the game. There's some other mods that are good, but this is probably, I don't know of a better. Okay. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of focus on male presets, so there's not a lot to be found, but I like this one. This character body right now is what I'm using, the Nephilim body. It's a C BBE body. So remember that there's 2 body types, C BBE and UMP. can't mix and match. It has to be one or the other. Okay, I know it's a pain, but it's true. So anyway, this is what I'm using right now. I'm using this eye mod, and I'm using this skin complexion. Now, this fair skin complexion does have some stuff that it does with the eyes, so be aware of that. Having several mods that affect the eyes can be dangerous. So in this case, I have it fixed so that it works for me. Okay, but if you used other, like if you try to use the newer Definitive Beauty Pack, it will not work well with this mod, because this mod wants to mess with the eyes, and the Definitive Beauty Pack already has the eyes a certain way, and you end up with a weird result. Okay, so that's my girl skin texture. This is my guy's skin texture. This is really the only texture mod I basically have, is the cows, because I wanted my cows to really look like cows. And this is a map mod, which is kind of a texture mod. I consider it its own thing. Okay, these are some animation mods, which you can do if you want your girls to have a little walk and have a little bounce. Same. And then alternate start. This is so you can start your game without going through all the vanilla stuff. I would point out that alternate start is a good one to start your game with. This one here on the shadows, it just gives you better shadows on your character. It gets rid of those other ones that look kind of weird. This just takes the tails off Argonians and Khajiits. It's very subjective. If you like the tails, don't use this mod. So I'm just trying to give you a place to start. So as a starting point, main mods I would choose if I were you to get started. I would probably... This is a good mod, and I still use this. This is a good mod just to give you more selling options, but I would probably not choose this as my first mod. Okay, I'm going to go. Matter of fact, I'm going to scroll back to the top. If I was just starting and I just wanted to do a bare bones basic start, here's what I would probably do. Okay, I would probably skip over all of this because it's all nice. But we're talking about your very first time doing a bare bones basic start. Okay, I would probably do like craftable everything, dangerous Skyrim. That would give me a little bit of deadliness, and that would allow me to make some stuff. And then I would roll down and do the cheat room. You should always have the cheat room, in my opinion. Okay, this is just my opinion. I would have the cheat room. I mean, now we're talking bare bones, so I'm not going to include some of this other stuff. Now, if you really want the hot girls, you go right ahead. That's fine. But I would skip all that. I would do these merchants and traders in inns, because this girl will show up in all your inns, and she'll have 30,000 gold, and you can sell her every piece of junk you pick up. Then, unless you really are worried about your character, if you're really worried about your character, then include what you like out of these mods, okay? But I'm going to say bare bones just to get a quick start. I may not care that much, and I might skip over that. And I do like the map. I would include the map. You may not. Definitely include the XP32. You're going to want that in the future. Just get used to having it. It's much easier. And use alternate start. There's just to start you out with, there's just a few mods that I would absolutely, and then mods manager cap. So like 4 or 5 mods you should really start with for sure, and then you can add in and try different things. And maybe if your concern is, instead of difficulty and encounters, if your concern is how your characters look, then don't worry about the grass, the trees. Don't worry about city overhauls. Come in and just do some character mods and try to get your character looking the way you want. Maybe start with that. Just start somewhere, but pick a place and start. I think my thing originally, I probably started with the cheat room and my character, and then I got into making the NPCs look better and getting my followers to look good. And then I probably went too crazy on that for a while, and then I started looking at, let's make the game, more fun, more difficult. Let's get some, harder dragons and do different things like that. And then I started kind of mishmashing things together, and you kind of see what I have here. This was a different idea. We're not done with this load order. You notice I still have a lot of space left, and there's going to be some overhauls that I'm going to put into this, but I haven't done that yet. But this load order is not a bad place to pick and choose some things out of and just start. But just start with a handful or less. Don't start with like I say, don't take 100 mods and throw it in your load order, especially in a random order, and think it's going to work. Believe me, it's not. It's going to be a big mess, and it's going to be hard to work through. But if you take a few at a time and try to follow some sort of guide, just a logical guide, it can be mine, it can be someone else's, that's fine. But follow some logic in the way you set up your load order. What I'm doing in general is I'm starting with what I consider, I'm kind of doing world building in a way. First, I have this big patch, right? Then I have this big overhaul. And if you have big overhauls, I think most people would recommend you put them up top. Now, occasionally, I will tell you, occasionally I have cheated and put those big overhauls down below. I've done it. And it's worked for me. Some people are going to insist that they should be up top. I'm fine with that too. And in this case, I thought, I think I am going to put it up top. And I did. All right. So then I have anything that affects quests right here, because this is going to affect quests in my game. It's going to delay them for the most part. And always dragons, technically it affects quests in that you can have dragons before you've done the quest for them. But two, in other ways it doesn't affect quests. But I still like it here for that reason, that it affects those things. Then I like to get into my trees and my grass. I like to do my weather and my sky mods, which I consider these are graphics style mods. I kind of group them together. Then I get into just game changes, adding and changing stuff in your game, like doing multiple followers, being able to craft everything you want to craft, being able to change NPCs' clothes, making your game a little more difficult. Things of that nature. All these are like minor game changes, no big deal. Some of them allow you to do a lot more enchants. This, regardless of the strange name, this makes your your enchanted weapon last forever. You never have to recharge it. Okay. This gives you superhuman jumping 10 times. If you don't like 10 times because it is dangerous and you have to kind of get used to it, there is a 5 times. There's a one that does 5 times, which works great. It is fun. This is just powerful torch. Let's see. So I'm just rolling through and just telling you different things. This is something to play around with, and it's fun. This is crafting supplies. This just makes it so that you don't have to go scrounging up crafting supplies. You can always hit this chest and grab your supplies, okay? And you'll have it there always. Let's see, anything else special to notice? That's a replacer. This is an armor replacer. This is an add-on. It adds armors to the game. So this will show up on everybody in the world. These armors will not necessarily, unless they're in the leveled list, which I don't remember. Seems like some of them might have been, but for the most part, it's an add-on. So now for these armors, for you to have these armors, you have to have that XP32 skeleton. So again, make sure you have that mod. This affects my NPCs and how they look. Right here, this is basically replacing them. This makes the guys look better. It also makes the girls, a lot of the girls, look better, but this is a much better female replacer, so I'm using it for the girls. These are some add-ons. This just adds some extra enemies. Each of these you can read about them. Now, Immersive Winches, this adds females to your town, to your inns and bars, okay? And you'll have some roaming merchants and that sort of thing, and they'll be a part of this mod. But you need that mod so that you can have these mods, which adds the extra enemies, and they're difficult enemies. They're tough. Then this makes those enemies look better. This is the merchants in the inn. This just is a follower mod. Basically, it makes Valerica so that you can get her to be your follower. It's a very simple mod. And that's, really, then I like this style of map. I've got a few little animation things here, and these are some patches that when you do patches, they're almost always going to be down towards the bottom. So these are some little patches. This gives you more females in the game. So, it's a little redundant in this load order because one of the Winches mods does something similar, but I don't always use the Winches mod, so I decided just to leave it in. So it's a little redundant, but I'm like, it's okay. So just make sure you have more female bandits, more female enemies, but at the same time, you're still going to have male enemies too, but you'll have more female enemies. All right, so I think I went through and talked about everything I can think of right now. Like I said, try to start out small. Don't start out with a ton of mods all at once. I'm sorry if this has gone on long, but I'm trying to think of everything I can tell you that might be helpful to help you get started. I really didn't want to inundate you with too much, so I'm just going to stop myself here. If there are questions, of course, I will try to answer those. So please feel free to put those in the comments and let me know. Okay? All right. Hope you have a wonderful day. Well, thank you for watching, and I will catch you later.
Now you got yourself a problem, partner.
Everybody run! They've